So, I gotta talk about Westworld, and yes, it's episode 1 of season 2. Season 2 is finally here, and we've waited a long time for this season, because of course, a year and a half ago, the first season went on, and the first season, yeah, I loved the show, and yeah, I was like, just like excited for this season to come upon us, and this first episode was good. This first episode was a good start to season 2. And it gets you excited for what's to come, because it doesn't like give everything away, of course. And it really, yeah, it dives into 2 timelines again. So yeah, 2 timelines, or I think it was like actually 3 timelines in this episode, if you count the start of the episode. And it's more like towards Bernard's story in this episode, because he's kind of dealing with 2 timelines, of course, with him as Arnold at the start of the episode. You can say 3, but for the most part, it's 2, and of course the first one is kind of like the present time, which I think they say 2 weeks after the shooting at the board meeting, and it was like, yeah, it was like you see like him at the like wash up on shore, I guess. So yeah, it's like he's trying to hide from like them finding out he's a host, because nobody knows he's a host except I guess Maeve, and of course like Ford knew, but he's dead now. So yeah, we see like Bernard washed up in shore, and that's like, yeah, it's like intense because you have like everybody there, and like it looks like everybody's there a little bit too late, because a lot of the people are dead or being chased upon by the hosts, and they're killing these hosts. Then of course the other timeline when he's with Charlotte, where they're hiding from the hosts, and those like guys, like those like other board members, the other like Delos executives get like shot down, falling into that trap. And of course he's like spazzing out all the time, like because he's like corrupted. He has to get like these other fluids from this other host that's in like that underground like place they go, where he goes with Charlotte. They shoot it so well, but you kind of feel like you're spazzing out with them until he gets other fluids from that host. And of course he like with like the drone hosts there. Those are actually kind of cool looking. Then we go to Dolores and Teddy, and boy, I did not expect Dolores to be this ruthless. And it's just like weird, because in like shows that have you progress from being maybe a good like a protagonist to an antagonist, well, you're probably gonna have to have an arc. And in Westworld, of course, with Dolores, you don't have arc with her, and it's perfectly fine, because these are hosts, and it's the way Ford programmed her, and she is like ruthless. I mean, after like even after she shot all the executives at that board meeting, it's like, whoa, she went this far. She's like hanging like these humans from a tree and letting them just like hang there until they can't, like they lose their balance or something like that and fall off those crosses. That's like, wow, that is dark. And then she's like shooting them while on a horse. I mean, she looks fierce in this episode, and her and Teddy in this episode, I mean, talking about talking about the human world out there, and it looks like we're gonna see it, because they do show it in the trailers where they're kind of in the human world. I would like to see what it's like at that point in the future, because yeah, we haven't got see that far into this show. I think that'd be interesting to see how, like, if that actually happens, or is that like a dream sequence. We will see. But definitely Dolores, I mean, yeah, I mean, her acting, Evan Rachel was acting is so good in this episode, and it's I feel like so different. It's just so different from the first season, and but it's in a good way, of course, because yeah, she's just like ruthless, and yeah, don't get in her way. Of course, like Teddy's like apprehensive about her like approach to this, and does he really want to do this with her? Of course, he loves her, but he probably doesn't deep down. He doesn't want to do this, but because like he wants to stay with her, yeah, he's willing to, I guess, kill the other humans with her too. So we'll see how that goes. Now let's move to William, the Man in Black, and yeah, he's even more of a badass in this episode and probably this season, because with the way the hosts are, yeah, he's gonna have to do a lot more, because this time he can actually die. And of course he got shot at the end of last season when those shot him in the arm. He's like wrapping that up, but he's fighting those 2 hosts, which is like a badass scene. And yeah, it's just like, yeah, I love Ed Harris in this role. Ed Harris is such a great actor. Seeing him in this role is so good. See him in like a Western style like show, and he's just like badass as a character, and I can't wait to see him like progress as the season, because you know he likes it. He likes having the host fight back like this, but in the trailer they showed that he kind of wants the park to die, and in the trailer, so we'll see how that progresses to the season. But yeah, I definitely like the Man in Black in this episode, and then of course he shoots like child Ford, which was like, yeah, that's a little dark. I mean, I know he's a host, but yeah, he went and shot a kid. And finally, let's go to Maeve. Maeve, of course, was going to go to the outside world at the end of last season, and she stayed back because she wants to find her child that she had in a past life in Westworld. And it's like, yeah, it's a far-fetched idea. But she's getting the help of Sizemore and of course Hector, and they're gonna try to find that kid or find the girl wherever she is. I mean, who knows if the girl even knows who like Maeve is? And it's a far-fetched idea. And if they do find her, yeah, the girl's not gonna know who she is. The girl may even be dead. Who knows? But it's just interesting. Actually, she could be in Shogun World. That would be interesting. Because it does show in the trailer that Maeve is going to Shogun World, or the Shogun World is coming to Westworld. I'm not really quite sure what's going to happen. But yeah, it's a far-fetched idea, but I love seeing like Maeve and Sizemore team up, because look where Sizemore has a line where I wrote that line for you. She's using it against them. And of course, to the end of the episode where we see Bernard with the military guys and I forgot his name, Luke Hemsworth's character. I think his name is Ashley. Stubbs is his character's name. But he's going around with them, trying to find the host. They see like a Bengal tiger that appears to have gotten loose from Shogun World. At least that's what I assume. And that's gonna, yeah, the first hint that Shogun World is coming. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting how that does it. And that's why I keep thinking maybe Shogun World will come to Westworld. And you see these like samurais get loose. That would be very weird. But we'll see how that goes. And then of course the final like scene in the episode where we see the hosts in the water dead, and yeah, they're dead. And it's like, I'm kind of wondering, because this is 2 weeks after the shooting of the board meeting, is this after everything that's gone down in this season? Because I'm kind of thinking that. And of course when Bernard says at the end of like the episode, I killed these hosts, I'm kind of wondering, how did he do that? I don't like really know how he did that. Like, is there a way he did that? Because yeah, they leave a lot on the table, because they're going to show, I guess, what happened later this season. And it's just like, yeah, it's definitely a mystery, and it's a mystery I'm going to love to watch. So yeah, definitely Westworld season 2, episode 1 of this season was good, and I can't wait to watch more. Tell me what your favorite part of this episode was. I think I would have to go with, for me, I would probably go with the Man in Black fighting off those two hoes and seeing him in this episode. But definitely, yeah, I think there's a lot more great moments to come in this season. So yeah, tell me what you thought, and you can check out my channel for more later. I'll probably review each of the 10 episodes of Westworld Season 2, so we'll see how that goes. So until next time, folks, I will see you folks later. I am out.